So because tomorrow is the Smash Ultimate Direct, I wanted to get some thoughts out that I had, some predictions, hopes, uh, characters, things that I want to see in the game, or things that I hope are announced during this Direct. But it's going to be logical, I think, or at least I believe it is. And I haven't done a video like this in a long time, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start off with the modes that I want to see returning or announced in the Direct. Uh, to start, I hope Target Test comes back, and more so how it was in back in Melee compared to Brawl. I think that Target Test is something that a lot of people liked. It's considered a staple of the series at this point. So it's kind of saddening that it skipped out on the 3DS and the Wii U version and was replaced with some subpar modes, in my opinion. So I do think that Target Test should come back the way it was in Melee, but if it comes back in the way it was in Brawl, I wouldn't mind it either. I just don't want Target Blast to come back. And the next thing that I want to see announced is a new Subspace Emissary type of mode. One that not necessarily will be Subspace Emissary again, but something like it, like how it had all those story of all those characters that were in the game interacting and interacting with each other and fighting for something. And there was this whole story that it had, and it had all the Smash Brothers characters together. So I'm hoping that with all the new characters that they have in the upcoming Smash Ultimate, they can do another thing like that. Because could you imagine having a cutscene with Little Mac and Mega Man doing some of the same things that they were doing back in Brawl on those cutscenes? It's just, I'd love to see all those characters, all these new characters that we have interacting again like we saw back in the Subspace Emissary. That would be awesome. And then also, given the portability of the Nintendo Switch, I think it's a given that Smash Run is going to return as well in the Switch version. It definitely would make sense because, again, portability of the Nintendo Switch, you can bring it anywhere, and that's kind of what the mode was made for back on the 3DS. So, they could bring it back, they could improve it, they could add the ability to see the other players maybe mess up their game or interact with them in some way, or attack them, to throw them off or something like that. And again, it could be like that because in the 3DS version, you never saw any other players. It was just you would have the chance to see them in the final match if you didn't get, or rather, if you got lucky and didn't get one of the AI final battles. So those are modes that I want to see return. I'm going to move on to the newcomers, the new characters that may or may not get announced in this new game, or this Nintendo Direct, this Smash Brothers Direct. So my first character that I believe, or rather this character that I want to see, would be Rayman. Rayman is my first choice, my top choice actually, and I'll explain a little bit about why I think he'll be in this Smash Brothers, or at least why I feel like he has a really good chance of appearing. So, first of all, get the little stuff out of the way first. Rayman had a trophy in Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. They gave him a trophy. They gave Globox a trophy too, I think, and some other characters like the Teensies, if I recall. But on top of that, Nintendo and Ubisoft has been their relationship. It feels like it's been the best it's been in a long time. We got the Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle game that's exclusive to the Switch that they collaborated on, and that game sold really well. So that's one thing. And then another is Star Fox is making an appearance in their game, Starlink Battle for Atlas. So that is another Ubisoft and Nintendo collaboration. So all those three things makes me believe that Rayman is going to appear and be announced in this direct. My next requested character would be Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight would fit in with the other retro characters. I mean, he's not really a retro character, but he's done in the retro style. And I feel like Shovel Knight and Nintendo have had a great relationship. Those two companies, Yacht Club Games and Nintendo. So I feel like Shovel Knight has a good chance of getting in too. And then my last character that I hope to see, and this might just be me being biased, but I want Shadow the Hedgehog, to be in Smash. And I don't know if he'll be an Echo Fighter of Sonic or if he'll be different, because I know that I would want him to use the Chaos Control if as a move if he came into Smash Brothers. But it could still probably be an Echo Fighter of Sonic, and I wouldn't mind it. But if I had to choose one of these three characters to be in the game, I would be happy if it was just Rayman. He's the only character that I need. He's the one I want the most, and I hope that he's announced. It'll make me super happy if he is. That and the Subspace Emissary, a new type of Subspace Emissary. And then assist trophies, I only have one. If Rayman gets in, again, if he gets in, I think we'll see either Lee the Fairy, who is like old Rayman games. Like, I haven't seen her in ages. But it could be Lee the Fairy as an assist trophy, or we can get Globox. So Globox is another probably... I mean, like, he's probably a really good choice for an assist trophy because he's Rayman's best friend. But I think Lee the Fairy too, because she has a lot of magical abilities and she's an old character that I don't think I've seen recently in the series. So now we're going to get to stages. There's a huge bunch of returning ones, but also a couple of new stages that I'd like to see. So for returning stages, I want to see Fountain of Dreams from Melee. We haven't seen that since Melee, as a matter of fact. I also want to see Mute City from Melee return, because that was a fun stage, at least for me. I liked it. The Rainbow Cruise from Melee as well, and I don't remember a lot of people liking it, but I definitely did. It was based off of Super Mario 64. And then the next stage I'd like to see is Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island from Melee. It was in Smash 4, so I don't see why it wouldn't. But I'm hoping for it. And then Woolly World, because I really like that stage. It's got a unique style to it, and I think it'll be good for Ultimate. And then a new stage, kind of in the same vein as Woolly World, but so I think a Kirby Epic Yarn stage could be nice, to go in the same style as Woolly World, except it's Kirby. It's Kirby's Epic Yarn. That'd be awesome. And I have a pretty big reason for this one. It's been 10 years since since Solid Snake appeared in Super Smash Bros. His last appearance was in Brawl. I think that Solid Snake or Metal Gear Solid should get a new stage. One new stage. My best guess would be the Mother Base from Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. Like the whole Mother Base. Maybe it's a platform stage where it flies around the whole thing, like Isle Delfino or Delfino Plaza. And then again, this might be my bias talking, but we should also get, or rather, I'd hope we get a new Sonic stage. Could you imagine having a new Sonic stage? Because he got one in Smash 4, but I feel like they're just gonna bring back Green Hill Zone again, and then bring back the Windy Hill Zone stage. So I think he should get a new stage. Could you imagine having the Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure as a stage, or Lost World from Sonic Adventure as a stage? Radical Highway from Sonic Adventure 2. That make a nice stage. And then we could also have Final Rush as a stage, which is the last stage in Sonic Adventure 2. And I think a little bit of reason for that, for a Final Rush stage, because Smash Bros. Doesn't have that many stages in space. I can think of the Star Fox one and maybe Rainbow Road from the 3DS version, but we don't have many space stages, and Final Rush would be a good Sonic stage. But Radical Highway would be a good Sonic stage too. So, and then lastly, I think we should get a Rayman stage, because, you know, if he's announced, we at least get one Rayman stage. And I think that a good stage for him would be the Cave of Bad Dreams from Rayman 2. The original Rayman 2. It was also on the Nintendo 64 and a bunch of other systems. But yeah, the Cave of Bad Dreams from Rayman 2 would be a good stage for him. They most likely will pick something from Rayman Legends or Rayman Origins, but I think the Cave of Bad Dreams would be an awesome stage. So yeah, that's all my predictions and hopes for Smash Ultimate. I'm hyped for the Direct tomorrow, and I hope that you guys are too.